Fantastic. So we're going to dive right in. I know I think I told Scott this would take me about a half hour to cover. It might take me a little longer, but we'll go more in depth on this in Tampa, and also because we'll cover a little more of the ad strategy. And then Darius, if you have any questions as we're going through, just do not hesitate to ask. I'm here to support you and the rest of the members. So I'm Ed O'Keefe. I'll give you a little background, but today we're going to be talking about ethical propaganda. The time we're in right now is that I think the benefit our group is going to get from this being bolted on to everything we're doing from the direct response ads is going to be a massive game changer that really has the potential of turning any of you into the instant authority in your area. And I call it the propaganda playbook for doctors, clinics, and practices who want speed, trust, and money. The goal today is to help great docs stop being invisible to your best future cases and win the best cases that you want on your own terms. And the problem is that a lot of the times the best cases don't go to the best clinics, docs, and they go to the best marketed, advertised, and syndicated, most famous. Great example is, everybody knows who Dr. Phil is. And if I said, I could probably tell you what Dr. Phil's advice to any issue, any problem, anything that he ever did on Oprah or his own show was. And it was always like, hey, take responsibility and move out of your mom's basement. That was his advice. He became famous, and he, at the time, was the most highly paid doc in or seen psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever he is, because he was an author and he was on TV and people sought him out. And the same thing is with like Dr. Oz, which I think Dr. Oz is part of our administration right now. But if you said Dr. Oz was the best longevity doctor of all time, I think the big boom in acai resveratrol, along with him being advertised by everybody, made him famous. And then I think, was he on Oprah as well? Yeah. So Oprah was the creator of a bunch of people that not necessarily were the best at what they did, but they became famous and they became the most well-known. And so our goal, obviously, we're going to be running direct response ads, and I'll cover that in a second. But when you can add a layer of micro fame to your personal brand, you instantly stand out. And so the problem is that we face just in general is that leads don't convert, they're lower quality. If you rely on ads alone, the cost of ads normally tend to only move in one direction, which is they go upwards. No one ever shows up and is like, hey, I got great news. All of our ads cost less than they used to, right? And so what the question is like, well, how do we fight that? And I think I have a good solution for everybody in this group. It's pretty amazing. Inconsistent lead flow, rapid changes like AI, SEO, case cost per cases. I work a lot with, I'll tell you about my background in a moment, being in the dental implant world, working with dentists directly for 14 years, maybe actually over 20 years, just because, but really heavy for a long time in that world. And then I also work with personal injury attorneys, and I work with other professionals, right? But now that working so closely with Dr. Scott and Maggie, one of the things I want to share here was SEO was a massive thing that, like, say, personal injury attorneys invest a ton of money into. And then in the last 6 months, that's gotten completely disrupted because of AI. And so these are the things that we're dealing with. And patients, prospective patients, family members, they're very confused on who to trust. And that's only accelerating because of the amount of information being thrown at them. And so, this person's saying this thing, this person's saying that thing. And it's just really a matter of like, well, who do I trust for these different pieces of advice? And this leads to a lot of different things, which is system leakages and lost money. And so what I always like saying from the beginning, and you guys already know this, but I think Dr. Scott and I shared this on our presentation, but I always come back to this, right? And I'm so happy you're here. And this is just kind of confirmation, reiteration as to being a part of the Regen Profits membership, is that, you know, the two sisters in Game of Thrones, one says to the other, remember what Father said, when the cold wind blows and when the snow falls and the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies. And so I'm super glad that you're here, because with everything we're testing, you're going to be consistently on the forefront of everything we're doing. And that's the goal here. So the opportunity we have is there's never been a time in our history where you have these networks that you could post free pieces of advice and content in very low budgets, become famous or generate leads and generate conversions. And so most people don't understand taking advantage of the paid side combined with the organic side. But then what we're covering mostly today is how do you actually create the messaging that converts patients into trusting you. Okay. Now, here's one thing I want you to think about for a second. And this is why the presentation is so powerful, but this is also encouragement on why content being syndicated is so powerful for you. Think about this. For every 1 minute of content not being watched by a prospect, it's going to take you, your team, or your intake team 3 to 10 minutes to explain that 1 minute. Now, if you reverse it and you say for every minute watched by a prospect before they ever get into your office, your practice, your clinic, it saves you an extra 10 minutes of explanation. The best part about this, though, is that by you having well done, structured content, and it doesn't even be like studio quality, even though I do like having some 4K, three camera angles, because it just elevates your overall status. It leverages your time. And the one thing that I know I have slides for this later. The one thing I will tell you is that it's an asset that keeps producing for you over time. And that, what I mean by that is that, let's say, and we've all done it, right? I want you to go to YouTube today, and you can click on, like, you look for one of my videos at O'Keefe, or go to like Dr. Scott Gray, click on a video of his. And then what you're going to notice is within a day or two, when you go back to YouTube, you're going to see another video being, and it's probably not the most recent. It could be one from a year ago or 2 years ago. And it's just amazing that YouTube has its own retargeting system built in. So who am I? I'm Ed O'Keefe. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I don't understand what getting a job looks like. And I'm an author of a book called Time Collapsing, which a lot of my marketing principles and a lot of the way I operate when I coach sports with my high-level athletes that I work with, along with business owners, we're always asking ourselves, what do we need to do to like shrink time? Like, how do we get to the result faster? And I'm a father of 7 kids. And yes, my wife was like, how do we get this done quicker? I don't know if that was a compliment or she just wanted to get the result to 7 kids, but it's a true thing. 20 years of marriage, 1 wife, all the same kids. My son's playing golf in college with my little guy, Eddie, popped through this. When I'm not an entrepreneur, not raising the kids, I'm coaching at a pretty high level of sports. This is us. Every kid you see in this picture here, they're all D1. If you went and looked at Big Ten, SEC, all 4 majors, you got Louisville, Texas, Wisconsin, TCU, and this is us in the semifinals of the national championships. This is my other team. This is my daughter's team. We finished 3rd in the country, and a couple levels lower, but that's what we do. That's what we're not being, we're not creating value through our business. We're busy raising kids and coaching sports. So this is who can relate to this? Let me just pause and ask you a question. Who can relate to this on the one side that, hey, if they just knew me, they would choose me. Sometimes I feel like the best patients, I'm invisible to the best patients, or I don't understand why we can't break through the next growth level. Whereas there's other people that have either cracked the code and this is Mr. Beast. He's worth like $10 billion at the age of 30 by posting YouTube videos, right? And so what we want to do is have you move over more into this phase where money's coming out of your ears because you've been positioned as the number one authority, and you have people that are coming to you as lay down sales rather than you feel like you have to sell, convince, educate, right? And if you've gone through our sequence, you know that. If you're running events, which a lot of you guys are already running lunch and learns or seminars or dinners, or some are getting ready to use webinars, you're just going to see the more you push into this model, the more leverage you're going to experience, the better prospects you're going to have, the better patients. And you already know that. And I heard a great quote this weekend, which was, if you want to be great at anything, you got to do less and just do it better. And I immediately texted Scott. I was like, dude, this is exactly why what you've built is so powerful, because it's just like one system that everything downstream of it only benefits from. Does that make sense? So I have 3 pop questions just to get us started. Let's see what I said. Okay. I'm one of 13 kids, and you could throw this in the chat if you want. Maggie, I don't even know if you know this, right? You guys can throw this in chat. Dr. Buck, Dr. Wine, Dr. Brian, Dr. Todd, just put it in there, the answer. I am one of 13 kids. Am I second from the oldest, or am I second from the youngest? Drum roll, please. Here we go. Maggie says youngest. I think she's totally wrong or been drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's see what we got. Second to youngest. Yep. So my parents are they're both passed. I am the second youngest, and there's my mom and dad grew up in a great family there. And the next question I usually get is, am I Catholic or am I Mormon? And so to illustrate this, you could throw this in the chat. Am I Catholic or Mormon? And I all I could think of is back in the Notre Dame, being from Chicago and the Miami. So drum roll, please. Yes, I am Catholic, or grew up Catholic. And so we went to St. Barnabas, and it's pretty funny, right? So that's what we do. So true or false? My first business that was super successful, had a good run for about 13 years, was my dental marketing, coaching, and seminar business. Am I a trained dentist? Yes or no? Drum roll, please. And that's the famous Brian Tracy on my stage. And Maggie says, I'm not letting you near my teeth. Yes, I'm not a dentist. I actually got my nursing degree. I've got my nursing degree. Pretty crazy. And then so I was very fortunate to run seminars, which is what we're going to be doing for you in Tampa. And we have, when the other schedule comes up of our mastermind dates, we can't, but these are a lot of the just phenomenal entrepreneurs we always have on our stage, right? And okay, let's dive in here. So how do you win this in a trust efficient world? So I'm going to play this little video for you, and then we'll go from there. Let's see if this works. Hold on, give me a second. Up.
This is a test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball.
So we're looking at the players in the white passing the basketball. Count how many times.
How many passes did you count? The correct answer is 15 passes.
Oh, Maggie.
But did you see the gorilla?
But did you see the gorilla?
This video is from research by Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris and is copyrighted.
Right.
It is available for use in talks, training, and teaching on
Okay, so this illustrates something that I just want to share with you, which is that you're in a space where we're bringing your attention to something that you're not possibly aware of. Okay. And what I'd like to share with you is that there's an old phrase, is in the land of the blind, the one-eyed person is king. And what we're trying to do is get your attention to go to a place where everybody knows that AI is disrupting every industry, and everybody knows that we're in a new economy from the perspective of how people are buying. But what most people don't know is how to capitalize on that. And that's the goal of this. Now, you've already heard this story of the right mentor is the one who could see around the corner, and how we used to poke holes in Michael Phelps's eyes. So I'll skip that. But what we're going to go over today is perfect for you if you're planning on spending $10,000 a month. And if you're not there yet, don't stress that out. But this system and this plan goes perfect when you're committed to spending money on ads and then adding the organic and content and propaganda side of it. And everything that we're sharing with you comes outside your industry, which means you're able to get the advantage that others just frankly can't. The other thing that I want you to grasp, and this is the title of my next book, Leapfrog Theory of Success. It comes from, where's the book at? Give me 1 second. Oh, it comes from this book that was written in 1970 by Robert Ringer called Winning Through Intimidation. And this principle changed my life because he talked about how no one has an obligation, moral, legal, or otherwise, to work his way up through the ranks, that at any given time, every human being possesses an inalienable right to make a unilateral decision to redirect his career and begin operating at any higher level that he and he alone believes he is ready. Now, obviously, you can replace that with she. But the point is that you can leap to the top. And so that is one of the things that not only do we recommend, but that's how we operate. We're not in for sequential results. We're in for simultaneous, exponential, and the secret to that is we got to turn you into a mini celebrity in your area, and that's the key to doing it. And as Covey says, nothing is as profitable as the economics of trust. And so, how do we create credibility and trust at scale? Number one is, since you're already all members, make sure we get you on the calendar for our next Vision Day where we do the interviews. And so I believe if any of you are coming to Tampa the day before, I will be available in the afternoon prior to do recordings, okay? This is one of the most important things of getting this done, so you have the content that we talk about in this system, okay? So here, let's dive in here. So propaganda flywheel machine. I'm going to move this a little bit. I'm going to speed through this just for time's sake. So what we want to do is create the ideal environment where you create value and train the prospect before they ever get to you. The examples of how brainwashing works in our society is that we were actually able to make it so that people believe smoking was good. It's absolutely crazy, right? Who do we have here? We have Bob Hope. I don't know who that is, Deborah Kerr. And then this was Ben Hogan, right? People believe this. And then this is even crazier. We were able to actually make it so parents believe that sugar is good for you. Are you making your children pay for your weight problem? Give them sugar. It quenches fatigue. Okay. So we had whole societies believe that. Now, if I want to go into something even more like controversial, it would be like, let's shut down the whole society and force people to get, anyhow, I'm not going to go there. But that is how propaganda can actually influence things, right? So we want to use it in a positive way. We want to do ethical propaganda that builds trust, that aligns with our what beliefs we want our prospective patients to have. And if you look at Tony Robbins, Tony talks about how if you transform someone's identity, their belief systems come right with it. And so The system that we're going to look at is like, who's our dream client? Pick one for now. So in your mind, when we go through this today, I want you to think through who's the ideal patient that you want into your practice. The ideal. So you should have a visual of one person as we go through this little exercise, okay? And what is the core action that we want them to do? Well, if somebody is in, say, massive shoulder pain, they're not sleeping well at night, they have money, they've been putting this off for a long time, they want to avoid surgery, what else? They're starting to do research, they've tried supplements, they've tried acupuncture, like list all that stuff out, because that'll feed our content, and it feeds our ads. And I'm going to show you something really cool here in a moment that's super fun. And you're going to get access to the AI prompts as well. The next question you got to ask yourself is, what is or are the number 1, 2, or 3 beliefs that we want them to have for them to choose us? So what do they have to believe that makes choosing you a complete non-negotiable? And so you might say, like, well, they have to believe that stem cell treatment works. They have to believe that going to the local, like Dr. Bupp is the right person for me, right? Over and above everybody else. So why choose you over them, right? And then what's it like? What's another one? So like Dr. Wine said, know, like, and trust. And so I agree on that. And what is the belief system though that they have to have? Okay, that pain, it's going to work. It's going to work for them, right? And so that's our. And then there's more, and I'll go. There's internal fears, right? So what problems are they seeking answers for today? Okay, and so there we go. Oh, this is so cool, Meg. I didn't know I could draw on this. I would be drawing on this the whole time. So what are the top 5 to 10 objections that the ideal client has? And then how does our unique process alleviate that? And then if we're able to do this properly, we believe that doing this through micro budgets combined with content, combined with organic content, on top of your presentation, is how you create a full ecosystem that ensures you're not losing money out of people that have been interested, they weren't ready, but then they go somebody else. Is this making sense? You guys just give me a yes if this is making sense. I'm trying to push a full presentation into like a very short amount of time. Thanks guys. Okay, got a couple yeses. My confidence has been accelerated. Thanks, Dr. Pippa. Dr. Gray's on board. He's even agreeing that some of this is good. And so what we do is, if we get their identity to be shifting, they get confirmation bias. What's confirmation bias? Confirmation is now if they believe, because we can describe their situation better than they can through our content, they don't need to go shopping around, okay? And I'm just going to say propaganda is strategic communication designed to influence attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors of a group of people by presenting information in a particular framed way, often emphasizing certain facts, values, or emotions to shape perceptions, okay? And so that's what we do. So our number 1 job, this is a little bit of the reframe, this is a little bit of the leapfrog theory, is to manufacture your celebrity message to many, one-to-many messaging, right? So we have our presentation, and then here we go with more content. So the truth is, we help you carve out in the mind of your ideal client and patient a belief that you are superior to all other options on the table to helping them achieve the result they want. And we don't do that by saying, I'm better. We do that by creating the beliefs and the identity and the values inside them that has them moving towards you, okay? Now, I also want to break a couple of your belief systems, okay? So a lot of you are probably thinking, well, Ed, I don't want to be famous. I don't need to be famous. And one of the things I want to encourage you is to stop that belief system, because a lot of times the more invisible you are, the less ability you have to impact people, okay? And it's not about being famous and being on the, what was the other night, Maggie, where they're all, worshiping things that it's not, this isn't my, I don't want to go political on it, but the people are like, oh, whatever, they're doing their thing. We're not talking about being famous like that. We don't need to be Brad Pitt. We don't need to be Tom Cruise. We just need to be somebody of influence locally. And the reason that's super important for all of you to understand is that income directly gets pushed to people that are more well-known. It just does, whether we like it or not. And it sucks for people that go into professions that are designed to help people, because normally you're like, I didn't get into this to become famous. I didn't get into this to become more well-known. I got in this to help people. But the reality is then you get into it and you realize, well, the trap was that you need to be more well-known. And so if you know these people right here, can you tell me who these are? And I'm going to go fast. Well, it's Tony Robbins, Cindy Crawford, Larry King. And then who's this? This is Fran Tarkenton, this is Valerie Bertinelli. What was the commonality of all these people? All those people were on infomercials, and they were all being interviewed. Why is being interviewed so important? Because they're being put on a stage. When you run an event, when you run a lunch and learn, when you run a webinar, when you run a seminar, you are putting yourself on a stage, and that separates you from 99.9% of the population, because number one greatest fear is speaking, and you are demonstrating your difference by doing that. Okay. And if you look at this, I'm now showing you just the collide of the personal brand is now being collided with social media, AI, automation. And like, these are people that, love them or not love them, they are accumulating wealth by improving their status amongst the population purely by choosing to go into a celebrity mindset. Like, so Logan Paul, there's a lot to learn from these guys, Logan and Jake Paul, whether you like them or not. They're pretty interesting guys in the sense that they just, from a very young age, started their podcasts. From a very young age, started building audiences. And now that they have the audience, they get to shine the spotlight of their audience going towards brands. And guess what? They become super wealthy off of it, right? Kylie Jenner at 21 became a billionaire. It's ridiculous, right? So how do we create a systematic syndication so that you go from invisible to everywhere, right? So as you probably learned in our previous presentation, and if this is honestly, the first time you're watching this, something that Dr. Scott and myself both teach are, when you're doing direct response advertising, you take one target market with pain, you grab one proven message, and by doing that, you create trust, okay? And so I'm skipping by this a little bit. When we run the ads, and this is one of my dental implant ads, we wrote an ad talking about propaganda that just went right to how expensive are dental implants. And so if I am promoting any kind of regenerative treatments inside my practice, I highly encourage you. And I would say if we were face-to-face doing an interview or recording footage, we would say, how expensive are stem cells? What should I expect to invest in myself if I have that? And then the answer is, it's a great question. We get it every single day. It can range based on where you're currently at, but let me give you an idea. So, and then you start telling people like, this is the minimum that you should expect to pay when you're coming in. Is it covered by insurance? It's really not covered by insurance. So a lot of our patients, we help our patients with financing, but a lot of our patients will pay just cash. Some patients, will push off a vacation and get this taken care of first and then go on the vacation. You help them think through what are the decision points that they need to think through. This is with YouTube ads, Facebook ads, YouTube videos, and Instagram ads, guys. You could even post it on TikTok. You could have it on your LinkedIn. And what's so great about this is that this was the highest converting ad that this doctor ran. Think about that. And so I'll go into where we get the questions, but all I ever encourage people when they're like, well, I'm not really good on camera, I don't really know what to say. Here's what I always say is like, what are the questions that you're answering inside your office when you're knees to knees with a patient? That's what we put on camera. Okay. And it just works, right? I'm speeding through this because we've already gone through this. These are the typical ads that will be running for like your dinners, your lunches. And you'll notice, do these have any personal branding in them for you? Yes or no? That was a question that was looking for interaction. Like, do these have any personal, and there's no wrong answer. Do these have any personal branding in them? Yes or no? Can you guys see my screen? Maggie, anyone alive? Bueller? Okay, thank you. No, there isn't, right? So these are more like, hey, they're getting the hand raiser. Why is that super important to understand? People don't care who you are until they realize that there's a solution that you can provide for them. All they care about them is themselves, right? And so the first click is going to be something that has nothing. Who cares about who you are? Like I'll pick on like, or if I just posted like, okay, Dr. Scott Gray is such an amazing doctor. Who cares? That is brand advertising on the top of the funnel, and nobody cares about that. Once they come into our system, now we want to create content and ads that work, okay? And so this is a process. We'll go more in depth on this in Tampa. Scott, if you want me to go more in depth on this separate, we can do that. I just want to make sure that we have time for Q&A today. But this is the thing. Let me tell a story on this, right? So let me tell you a quick story on this. So this is, you cannot make a decision on your advertising and what success looks like without doing this first. So if I stopped here and we did this for an hour, this might be one of the biggest breakthroughs you ever have. So let me give you the 1 minute version of the hour presentation. When you think of your dream patient, you throw her in here, right? Or him in here. And you say, okay, it's Maggie Williams, right? And the lead source is, where did she come from? Okay. How much revenue came in? So I would want somebody like, my dream would be, let's say it was a $12,000 case, but maybe she was a $35,000. I would go for like, what is the dream? I want 4 $35,000 cases. Well, she came from this country club. She is part of this, because now I could do these things. This is so interesting, right? She's a part of this senior community. Like, so right here in Beverly and Southside Chicago, I could tell you where all the senior communities are. I can tell you where all the country clubs are. I can tell you where the church meetings probably are. And I can start mentally reverse engineering a few things like that, right? That's for like probably people over the age of 75 or whatever. So that's a little bit older, but we can come down, and then we have different categories, got the tennis clubs and whatever. Let's just say she came from the country club, and she's part of the tennis people there and the golfers there, right? She spent $33,000. So she had multiple joints that were inflamed. She was told she needs a total knee replacement. She wants to push it off. Like, I'm giving you the psychological things. And then we'll do the emotional map here in a second. What are we willing to pay to get that type of patient? Okay. Now, I would spend what would you pay to get a $35,000 case coming in your door, right? Probably a few $1,000 minimum, right? And so from an ad side, that's one thing, right? So one of the things I want to tell you is, it comes from a story that Nido Qubein. Do you guys know who Nido Qubein is? Super successful motivational speaker. He was one of the founders of High Point University. And when they were giving him a tour around campus, they said, they're like telling him, okay, we're building this here, we're doing this. And then they said, okay, we're going to put a sidewalk in this way. And Nido said, well, he looked at the grass in the quad that was brown. And he said, well, why don't we just put a sidewalk right here? He goes, because the students are already showing us the path at which they're coming or they're walking. Let's not create our own path. Let's see what path they're already walking down. And then we do that instead. Okay. And so I'm going to give you an example here. So what we want to do is we want to look at what are people already doing And how do we find it? Now I'm going to show you something really cool here right now. So Google, all the research you need to know about what to talk about and what to say is this. Is I'd say, what are stem cells, right? So this are what is the best? Look at this. Stem cell treatment for knees. That, my friends, is an ad. That, my friends, is the video you create for your YouTube channel. Okay, right here, you now have about a dozen different things that you can create content on that your patients are currently asking. Okay, that SEO companies are building articles out and populating it, right? But that is not nearly watch this. How do I choose the best stem cell treatment, doctor, therapy, supplement? Do I go to Mexico? Okay. Now, check this out, right? For time's sake, I want to show you one really cool thing. So this is already happening, right? Now let's go to YouTube real quick. Are you guys liking that we're just doing this real time? So stem cell, look at this. Stem cell, look at this. I mean, it's giving you guys everything you need to know, by the way. It's giving you everything you need to know. Okay, so stem cell treatment, cost of stem cell therapy. Now watch this. Okay, so now here's everything I want to show you. Okay, pretty cool stuff. So these are this is an ad. I believe this is an ad. And then what I'm looking for, like this was, do PRP and stem cell injections work? Guys, guess what? That had 197,000 views, right? Do I need all of these 197,000 views? No. But what I could tell you is that they're to make money, I can guarantee that if you posted a video like this locally, we gave you a better thumbnail, you're going to get more patients than you did if you didn't do it. Okay. Now check this out, right? This is Joy Calm. I don't know Joy. She doesn't call me. You know, isn't that a phrase? There's no joy here. But Joy, I swear to you, if you come to Tampa, actually, you'll find me funny. It'll be funny. It'll be funny when you show up down there. I'm not funny when I'm at my house in Chicago. There's nothing funny about being in cold weather like this. Okay, so anyhow, let's just look at this. This is on YouTube. There's a couple tools. There's vidIQ. And so Joy, what this is 17.1. This means that this video, understanding stem cell costs, what I tell you about dental implant costs and expense, this is what people are worried about. We could take your picture, put it right here, change the headline slightly, put another picture there, put the same question mark, and I guarantee if you do that locally, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to get necessarily 44,000 views because she's obviously been doing this longer than you, but that is a damn good video. And that's a video we can run $1 a day to your local area, and every single lead that comes into your ecosystem or people that touch your website, they can see your video on this topic. Now, her topic's 24 minutes long. Your video could be 5 minutes long, 3 minutes long, doesn't really matter. Now, here's what's super cool about this. What this is telling us is this video outperformed her average video on her YouTube channel by 17 times. That's a clapper right there, buddy. So we're gonna go to her channel. It says she's probably making like 2,000 a month from her channel. Okay, she's doing 110,000 views. And look at this. Do you think this is a hot topic, guys? Do you think this is a hot topic? These are the top peptides you need to know about. 65 times better performer Scott, is this valuable or what? This is a 65 times better performer than her average video. That is all we care about are these outliers, right? So if you just looked at, and then look at your photo goes right here, because I'm not going to make up, I'm following Nito Cabane. Where's the path, right? This should get you excited. Where's the path? And then how do we replicate it with our personal brand? Okay. And then what I guarantee she's not, well, I shouldn't say she's not doing it. Then we take the same video, we put it in Facebook and Instagram, and we put $1 a day behind it in your local, like in your warm bucket. I'll have to explain warm buckets a little bit deeper. Scott, I could do a different video on that if you want, and we just post in the members area. But is this valuable? Is everyone liking this? Like, this is telling you what people are looking for in your market. Okay. It's gene therapy. I don't know the answers, but guess what? I already could tell you that it's not. 5 months ago, she got 2.7 thousand views. This one, 66,000 views. Which one are you going to create a topic on, right? And so we do the same thing on all these. So what we do is we reverse engineer all the top ones, right? Now these are 2 years ago. So we would only do. I have a membership. Let me pull it up. Doing things live is a little risky because something might not work and you look really stupid. But I've looked dumb before, so I'm gonna. It's okay. It's okay. So anyhow, so like right here, stem cells in the next gen. So this is 20.9. And then what I'm going to do is create a filter here. I don't want to lose you guys too much on this because this is what I do like every day. But I could see how anything that's over 10 is something I would earmark. And I would say, should we be using this or not? Right? 6.5 is pretty cool. Your cells heal. And then you could do that. Okay. But this is the kind of stuff that we'll help you with and we'll coach you on and it'll be great. But and then look at it, like here's Joy Kong. She's all over this place, right? So Joy Kong, we go to her channel and I can see everything that she's done. Top doctors on how stem cells, how to supercharge every cell in your body. She's doing a lot of cool stuff, right? Pretty good stuff. Okay. Now, last thing I want to show you, and then we'll open up for Q&A, is this. So, okay, let me get I have to stop share for a moment. Exit out of that. And now we're going to go to ChatGPT. Okay. So, last thing I want to show you, and I'm going to give you this because this will help out a lot, right? So it's like, Ed, well, how do I just do this for our ads and how do we create a system out of this, right? So AI is super duper powerful and AI could also be super, super confusing and frustrating, right? So this is a document that I'm going to give you. That you can literally copy and paste into ChatGPT to start building out your frameworks, right? And I'll read the beginning of it. You can, Scott, I could do it. Like I could do a 10-minute video on this too, like separately just for time's sake. But what I want to show you here in the beginning here is like, look at this. Like, hey, I've already programmed it. Like, I want you to systematically dismantle the target audience's core false beliefs, internal and external. Why is this important, guys? Because people have beliefs like this. They'll have a belief like, well, aren't stem cells expensive? That's an external, I guess it is an internal belief, but it's an external belief. Like we all know that. Like people are worried about like, okay, what's it going to cost? Like we already know that that's going to be a belief, a concern, blah, 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 right? The internal core belief is, am I worth spending the money on myself? Do you see the difference on that? And so if we have a micro video that says something like, hey, one of the questions when people are considering, and this could be about peptides too, this could be about TRT, this could be about anything, right? It's about self-care, right? It's one of the big questions that people have when they come in. They're like, hey, should I be doing, I'm interested in stem cells, or I'm thinking about coming in, but they never do. What they really are afraid to say out loud is, am I worth spending the money on myself? And they worry about like their partner, they worry about this, they've taken care of people their whole life. And now they have the money, but they're just not letting themselves invest it on themselves. And so what I always like to tell people when that happens is I like to share the story about Sally. And then you have a testimonial, a case study. And so that's how you could dismantle that belief. But that's how we build propaganda. Like that is propaganda. And isn't that the most valuable propaganda ever? Right? And so this AI prompt is going to dismantle a lot of the target audience core beliefs. We're going to rebuild those belief systems on our unique vehicle and method, which is our regenerative medicine practices. And then we're going to lead into our offer, right? So these are the things that this is some of the stuff that you need to work with ChatGPT on. And the better you are talking to like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, it doesn't matter to me, the faster this kind of works. But what we do is we just we build this all out, and then I'll say prioritize and refine all our core set of beliefs. We have our offer, we have our target audience, we have our desired outcome, which is to get them out of pain. And then it'll build this out and build your ads and your reels for you. Okay. So these are a lot of the things that, like, look at these. I'm not the kind of person who could do that. I don't have time for this. I hate self-promotion, blah, blah. That's for like somebody else. Now watch this. I'm going to take this prompt. I'm going to go right to ChatGPT now. Okay. Copy the whole thing. I already got all this laid out for you. Just making sure I don't have anything in here that's going to totally skew it. Here's all the story templates. Look at all these guys. This is kind of stuff that we've gleaned from like the old school Dan Kennedy, Gary Halbert, all the best copywriters in the world. The hero's journey. It's all in here. It's baked in here. It's unbelievable. Watch me do this real time. David and Goliath. All this crazy stuff, right? The anti-guru work. Okay. So watch this. We're going to copy all of it. I'm not going to go. I'm going to do only another minute or two on this. Then we're going to peace out. Copy the whole thing. Okay. I'm going over my chat. Going to open up a new project. Give me a second.
Hey, Ed, if you're trying to share your screen, we can only see one tab right now.
Yeah, because I just needed to create the project first. Now I'm going to move you guys over. Okay. So now I'm just going to copy and paste it over and say, and this is all I'm going to do. I'm going to say, hi, I am marketing to attract stem cell patients into my regenerative medicine. Now there's a avatar prompt and a about yourself prompt, like who you are, that I'll also we'll put up in the members area that goes deeper into the programming of your ChatGPT. Like they should know more about you and stuff like that, but it's not necessary because you could work with it. So I just copied the whole prompt in there. Hi, I am marketing to attract stem cell patients in my regenerative clinic. Can you take the prompt below and follow it? Ask me clarification questions as needed. My website is boom. And then we could take, does anyone have a website you want me to throw in here? We'll just do it for your clinic as well. My website is, you can do research there and do your best to fill out the instructions. Do we have a website, Maggie? Anybody?
Does anybody want to share their website in the chat?
Otherwise,
Nice.
I'll just pull one off the Googles.
Oh, here we go. adv-health.com. And
Thank you so much for jumping in. adv-health.com.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it'll take a minute, but it won't take too long. Okay, cool. So check this out. It's like, what is our offer and what do we need to do there? Blah, blah. Yep. So to ask, it's giving me free consult. All right. So we're just going to say free consult. If there's low free, name of offer, free relief. I'm just making this up really quickly for speed's sake. What does your patient receive any treatment? Do you have one interest for name? Yeah, I like your ADV joint restoration. See how it just gave me an idea? That's so good. Do you have one? No. And so it's helping me clarify, right? Which is, we'll go knee pain, 55 to 70. Trying to avoid surgery. Isn't that good? And others. Geographic constraints. I'll just say Columbus area. I forget where Dr. Bubsel. I just say 100-mile radius. All the promises look great. Are you okay with case? Yes, I'm okay. Go ahead and be creative. Vehicle, what's our calm, reassuring, educational, calm, professional, reassuring. I'll be done in a second, guys. Sorry. Yeah, definitely avoid cure and any FDA non-compliant language. YouTube and Facebook. Yes. Go to belief mapping. I mean, this is stuff you used to spend 20. I mean, I've spent so much money on copywriters, even though I consider myself a pretty good copywriter. These are all your videos, guys, right here. I'm probably too far gone. Yep. I don't want to look foolish, falling apart. Pain is just part of aging. I should accept it. Scott, this is even a good list that you guys could add this to your PowerPoint slides. Does that make sense? Most people, look at this. Boom.
Yeah, this is insanely valuable. This is amazing.
Okay, cool. So which 3 to 5 beliefs? I'll just say choose the top 3, and then we'll wrap this up because you guys could do this of each because it'll start like you don't need all 10 to start your thing, but like I'm probably too far gone. Why is number 1 is silent resignation belief? So that's like it's telling you what's going on. Why is perfect for your offer? I mean, you could do one of these a month. Everybody, just so you understand, this could be your, once a week. I mean, unbelievable, right? Okay, great. Okay, great. Now he's going to say, do you want me to, now that it's going to say, do you want me to create your ads before I generate the triple hooks? The triple hooks are the ads. Do you want to start with internal? We'll just go, yeah, or I'll choose, just generate 2 or 3. Generate just do both, generate 4 triple hooks, and then we'll be done. So there it goes. It's gonna go perfect. Here are 4 clean triple hooks, no hype, no medical lines. Qualifier. This is for adults. Most people assume, hey, if you're someone who's 55 to 70 with knee pain, who've already been told that surgery is eventually unavoidable, most people assume that once the knee reaches a certain point, surgery is the only logical step. But the conclusion is often made without a true joint-specific evaluation designed to rule out alternatives first. Okay, so that's the inevitability frame. For people delaying surgery, like this is how the content would work, guys. So let me just move my screen over here so I can read it. For people, let's see here. Hey, if you've been someone that's told, hey, your knees are so destroyed that you're gonna need surgery, the hardest part isn't always the pain. It's not knowing whether you're actually out of options. In many cases, what's missing isn't a new treatment, it's clarity before committing to something permanent. So what I'd like to, and so those are those things. Okay, great. Now I was gonna say, do you want me to create? Those are great, right? The full belief. Yeah, let's go 1. Let's go. Boom. I'll get you 1 full ad here, guys. Excellent choice. Blah, 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 blah. And well, I'll show you on a different video how we turn this into like images that are really highly clickable. And so this is writing the whole thing out. So this is a ridiculous video ad, and there you go. Scott, is there anything else you want to add or for me to go over before I wrap kind of this part up? Because I could always do, like, what's great about these things is that when you do like an in-person interview, what's great about this is that it's a little more natural. And with that said, this is also something you can just do, like if you feel comfortable looking at an iPhone and doing it.
Yeah.
The other thing I say, like, one last thing, Scott, is that this also is the content in, say, an ad, and you could just do an image on it. You don't even have to do a video with it. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of options here.
Good stuff. So I want to kind of like pull some things together just from some of the stuff that I've talked about before, and some of the things that I teach. But like this right here is, I've said it the last few weeks, is that mastery is in the monotony. And you may be sitting here thinking like, oh my gosh, this is so boring watching Ed do this. But then once the stuff shows up and you're like, oh my gosh, all my answers are right there. Like, it's these tiny little things where you put in the boring work like this, where a lot of people want to do flashy, fancy things, new things, whatever. But it's sitting down and really figuring out what questions they're asking. Because what Ed is talking about here with ethical propaganda, it is your leverage, because, you know, why do people click on an ad from Tony Robbins or click on an ad from Dr. Phil or click on an ad from Oprah and they buy super quick? It's because they've built trust with them. That person has built trust with them. They have become the, if you want to change the word celebrity, because like that word makes me like sick. That word like makes my stomach turn in the sense of I don't want to be one, right? So, but do you want to be an expert? Do you want to be the thought leader? Do you want to be the guy that when they have that question, they go to you? You're known for that thing. And so that's what's important. But in making all this content, what's important is that you show up with the answer to the question that they already have in their mind. And so what Ed's doing here is he's putting in the work to just go through all of these things to figure out what are they asking? What questions do I need answered? And when that stuff is out there and they can just dig in and they see one of your ads, they get retargeted, they go to one of your YouTube videos, and they're like, oh, what's that next one? Oh my gosh, I was wondering that too. It's just, oh, I was wondering that too, right? It's like I get stuck on, I love Dr. Eric Berg. Like I love his, you know, nutrition videos and stuff. And like, I'll just like keep binging them because I love his topics and I love what he's talking about. And so when we talk about this, ethical propaganda is so important because nobody wants to go to the guy with the empty parking lot, right? No one goes to the surgeon that can get you in same day. You go to the surgeon that's booked out 4 to 6 weeks. That is the guy, right? Or the woman. Like that's who you're going to. You want to go to the thought leader, to the expert, and ethical propaganda is making you that person to the people who are searching for the answer to these questions, right? So I'm just trying to bring this all back because Ed has gone over so much awesome information and like a fire hose today. But if you can do this work and really figure out what needs to be answered, put that ethical propaganda out there so that you become the expert just to the people. And again, we only have to pay $1 a day, $2 a day, whatever, to get that out to people that are interested. They're looking and searching. And that's how you become the thought leader. So then when the next person searches, you become the thought leader to them. Next person searches, you're the thought leader to them, and so on and so forth. And that's how that grows. So, and really, once you do this, you start to get that trust and your sales get easier. Your sales are hardest when nobody knows who you are. Your sales are hardest when they don't know what you know or don't know, right? So this changes the whole, this is like the whole pre-frame. This is the whole pre-frame before you sit down with that person where they're like, oh, I know this guy. Like everybody goes to him, like he knows what he's doing, and they sit down and just want to buy from you, right? So this is so important for the pre-frame before, and that's why leads don't work. That's why, you know, all these things that people say don't work is because we don't do the things to get the know, like, and trust, like Dr. Wine said earlier, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is so important, and it's the differentiator because what are people doing now? They're consuming content, right? When I look for something online, I'm just watching video after video after video to learn that thing, right? I just bought a sauna recently. So like I was just in depth and seeing like a million sauna videos, but you know, I'm letting them prove their case online as to what the best sauna is. And so
hey Scott, can I chime in a little bit? And then if there's any questions.
That's all I had to say. I just want to kind
Yeah.
of this is so important to the sale and everything after.
Yeah, like here, this is a little bit better, guys. Check this out, right? I just did like this is, and then what I did is I just pasted a prompt into Gemini. So I'm showing you how the cookies are made, but frankly, you personally do not have to be the cookie maker. Look, I mean, these will get clicks, guys. Scott, can you see that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
This will get clicks. You take that article, boom. You take this prompt from the stem cells, and you put this thing here, boom. We're gonna test this one out, and then boom. I mean, that's gonna get, before you accept surgery. There's one more step people skip. That's going to get clicks. Okay. Now, last thing I want to say is this is done in probably most likely the best way I know to get this done is without question an interview, because you get it, you bang through it all like in your natural environment. The second best way to do it is in your presentation. You just add the slides in there, and then when you're doing your lunch and learn or seminar, somebody's recording it, and then you add that to your flywheel. Super powerful, right? And then the third best way to do it is kind of doing what I'm doing, which is then you would put the script underneath the thing and you'd say it. I find that clunky. However, with the one thing, because you're worried about your eyes reading, but the AI now, we could put it into a program that's Descript that you just say, it's like I use AI's like eye enhancement, and it'll remove the linear back and forth tracking. Okay. And I think I'm totally opening a question, Scott, and we can cover whatever else you want to at this time. I'd love to get you guys to send questions into Maggie if there was any parts of this that are over your head, too confusing, so that I'll create little sub modules that we could then create for your team, or we'll determine what we could do for you versus what we can't do for you.
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Yeah, Brandon.
Can you just talk about the like we were talking about our marketing person using so we have our interview tomorrow, but like using those 1 minute videos that you do $1 or $2 a day. How does that work?
Which part? The creating so creating the $1 a day.
Yeah, like who are you sending that to? Can you describe how somebody would do that on Facebook or Instagram?
I'll describe it, and then I'll just say I'm going to create a little 10-minute module on it too. Is that cool?
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
Oh, I said I'll describe it now, and then I'll also create like a tutorial for the membership area that your team member can just follow through it as well.
Okay.
So one of the trying to see if I have a little video of this. I just want to show this. Everybody knows what a funnel looks like, right? Like a funnel. Okay, cool. There it is. Good. Okay, let me open this up real quick. Should take a second. Here it comes. Press 1, 2, 3. Boom. Okay, so everyone knows what a funnel looks like. And when we go here, boom, that's a funnel. When we are going after in your area, when we're at the awareness and interest stage, this level, at that level, we're targeting, say, 200,000 people in your area. So it's super awareness. There's no brand. We're not worried about brand at that point. Okay. But once they engage with your brand, and they now move down further into like what we call like bottom of funnel. And this is where we would be running your $1 a day, $2 a day videos. Okay. And so inside Facebook, we would be covering people that have visited your website, watched more of your videos, like 100% of your videos, opted in, so they're leads, okay, and people that have registered for your events. So this is super important too. And I know, like, if you haven't run events yet, or if you are running seminars, if they see your videos prior to even getting to the seminar, you're even elevated even higher, okay? And so the technical side of this is inside Facebook and Instagram, I can create audiences for everything I just mentioned here. Like, so as people engage with your video, with your website, your lead page, we're able to create 30-day, 180-day, 365-day audiences that then we could run the $1 a day videos to. So those audiences are the reason why we run $1 a day is because those audiences are smaller, and when we run videos at them, they get so much engagement, and you become like a local, like, gosh, Dr. Bupp's everywhere. Wow, this guy, I mean, I clicked on your one thing and now I see you everywhere. That's the experience we want them to have. I'll create a more technical version for the membership area that all of you can have, like, say, a team member do it for you, or I know we have options that we can refer you to, or, you know, there's probably solutions there as well. But that'll go through more of the step-by-step.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you got it. And the other thing too, guys, I didn't cover this part, but like, let's say it's February, right? And we're going to do a Valentine's Day special, right? I mean, you might just want to jump in there and be like, hey, it's Dr. Wise, and I just want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. This week at our clinic, if we're adding $50 credit to your account for anything regenerative medicine wise, or blah, blah, blah. And you post it, you could put $10 behind that video. So that is the value of having someone internally being able to take like a quick idea, put it in your thing, upload it, press $10 behind it, boom, and your entire patient base sees it. It's pretty amazing.
I got it. Thank you.
You got it, buddy. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right, so Scott, I don't have anything else. So I don't know if you want to wrap up, if Dr. Wine or Dr. Pippa or anyone else has any comments or clarifications that I need to cover. Sometimes I'm aware that I could be too big picture, guys. So when you ask those specific questions, I appreciate it.
And then Scott did text me. He had to restart his computer. He said his camera and everything was going crazy. So he should hop back in just a few. But if you guys have any other questions, whether for Ed and ethical propaganda or just where you're at in the program in general.
It's Darius. Just one quick clarification. You were talking about that one video that worked for your dental practice that was the best one you saw, where you did you say when you elevate the price that actually increased your conversions or the amount of people that were watching? What was that whole message you were making there?
Oh yeah, no, great question. So okay, so in there's a couple of things to learn, and it's not about the price there. That was more about for like dental implants, but this is true of stem cells. The biggest question, if you do the research on, like, say, Google or YouTube, one of the biggest things you're going to see is that the first question is, what's the cost? And then dental implants will be like inside, like, search will be like, dental implants expensive. And so that is one of the objections. That's probably the number one objection why people aren't moving forward. Like, I'm afraid to even go in because I don't know what it's going to cost. So by addressing that in video and then running that as an ad, you're addressing the big elephant in the room, and where most doctors and clinics address that last. Like, and I know there's some theories on this, like from an intake perspective, just get them in, and then you'll be able to convert them. That puts so much pressure on your team and yourself to like convert. And so now we're working on getting better and better at selling to people that possibly aren't even qualified. What a backwards, like in my brain, that's backwards. And I'm like, well, let's take all the biggest concerns and questions and objections. Money is a big one. Put that at the beginning. Like, and that doesn't mean that's the ad, because the first ad people will see is, hey, if you're in pain or blah, blah, blah. But Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram now, is getting so smart that it knows where people are at in their own stages of the patient cycle, decision cycle. And so if somebody's been clicking around on different sites of stem cells and whatever, and you do a video about the cost of, like, the true cost of stem cells, like, what does it really cost? And you just address it the same way you do it with a patient. And then you explain, like, hey, it could range anywhere between this number and this number. what we love to do in our practice is help people figure out the best way for them to move forward. And sometimes people come in and they can lay down just cash for the whole thing. That's always an option, but it's not an option for everybody. And so sometimes they'll come in and we'll say, well, like, let's just get the right shoulder figured out first or done first. And then we could do your, whatever your second priority is. And so in that case, we step ladder it and we do like a good, better, best option. But in our practice, the patient is always in control. So you always could feel confident that we're not going to push you or whatever. And you know, and that when they hear that messaging in video early beforehand, it just builds trust because like, wow, this person just told me these are the fees ranges. Where one of the worst case scenarios, and I think people hate this, they have no clue what it's going to cost. They come in and they get like a $30,000 price tag and they can't even afford $6,000, you know? And so that's bad for everybody. Yeah. So that builds a lot of trust out of the gate.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you. I just noticed like for the closest that I've done, I try to start off with well, you know, if you went to Mexico, it'd be a $30,000, and if you went down the street and had analogous stem cells, it would cost you $12,000. You know, luckily we're a streamlined business here, and you know our fee starts at whatever $4,700.
Yeah.
And that seems to work pretty well. I don't know if you have an objection to that, or is that also a decent strategy?
Yeah, like that was fantastic. And what I'm encouraging is like you're taking what you're doing one-on-one, and now we're syndicating it. So now it's one-to-many. So imagine if you had 5,000 people in your area within a whatever radius is your demographic, like your geographic, and they viewed a video of you, like just like it was a smile on your face. But like people ask this all the time, and we want to alleviate this. So I always like to say, like, look, you can go to if people ask us, should I go here? You actually brought up another objection. This is a separate video. Like hey, should I go to Mexico to get my stem cell treatments? We get that question all the time. And so, yeah, of course you can go. And actually there are cases where you should, like, you know, if somebody's on stage 4 of whatever issues that are beyond our thing and they want to do the week-long everything and pay 30 to 50,000. But if it's somebody who's in these things, you know, as you just brought up, you can go down the street for this and you do this. This is why we're different. And you did a great job with that. And then what we're doing with our propaganda and our micro budgets is we're now making you micro famous. And you'll be amazed. I mean, you start getting this rolling, and within like a few weeks to like a couple months, man, it just starts steamrolling. It starts getting better and better.
Awesome. Just one last really quick thing. Eventually, let's just say 3, 4, 8, 10 months down the road, when I hire somebody else to do all of the marketing and maybe even do the seminars and all that, is there any problem with my face being on all of this? But they're the ones who show up for the thing. That's fine? It's
not at all.
It's not a.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
The key is just with because that's a great question, and I think on many levels. But first of all, your status is higher, right? And you'll even notice, I mean, now that you guys are in the membership, were you on any of the webinars where I introduced Scott? We just started doing that. We're trying to move more to that. And it's just, again, like third-party edification. So when somebody is if I was going to go do for you in your area, I would do exactly what I did today, similar. I'd be like, hey, I'm Ed O'Keefe, blah, 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 Father 7, da-da-da. I'm here. Many of you probably are. I'm here on behalf of Dr. Wine. Before we get started, one thing I want to let you know is that you're in the right place, and here's why. If you're experiencing this, 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 and this, or I would probably do that. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms or conditions, and you're interested in possibly looking for an alternative treatment than to surgery, then you're in the right place. So I'm Ed O'Keefe, and before we get started, I want to tell you about who I work with, Dr. Darius Wine. Now, here's what you need to know about Dr. Wine. And then I edify the crap out of you. It puts you at a different level. 100%. That's why we use, by the way, that just so everyone knows, like that is another form of an infomercial where somebody's interviewing the expert. Now the certain person is just presenting for the expert. One thing I want to share with everybody too, like if you ever been to a Tony Robbins seminar. Tony does not sell Date with Destiny. He does not sell Life Mastery. He gets the whole audience in a peak state. He takes them through a whole exercise, and then and then his wingman comes out. And when I went through Personal Power, it was Joseph McClendon. I'm sure he has other people now, but it's because he separates the anchor, you know. So
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. This is really great.
thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, Scott, do you have any announcements for the members? I think I went way over time, so we lost a few. So
No, it's awesome stuff, man. Thank you so much, Ed. I know that's going to help these guys. So, but no real updates. Obviously, Tampa's coming February 19th, so we're excited to deep dive into a lot of this stuff there, and we'll be on again next week at 9:30. So looking
And
forward
then, guys,
to.
I will get this recording, upload it into the portal, and I will share it with everybody via email as well. And then, Ed, if you could just shoot me that link to your ChatGPT prompt so I can include that for
yeah,
everyone.
that'd be great.
Okay.
That'd be great. Sounds great.
Wonderful.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you
Thanks,
soon.
guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you.